Hey there, Fort Bliss. Welcome back to another episode of William Beaumont's MedTalks. A very important subject that we felt we had to bring forward again, and that's measles. It's now here in our community. So please stay with us while we bring back Major Lacey Mayo from Army Public Health Nurse. And we are going to ask her some important questions about vaccination, what we can do to protect ourselves. So stay with us. We'll be back here in a bit.
It isn't always easy to make time for medical appointments. With My Military Health scheduled virtual visits, you can connect safely and securely with your healthcare team on your schedule. All you need is a smartphone, tablet, or computer with a camera, speaker, and strong internet connection. Access high-quality healthcare on your terms, anytime, anywhere. Talk to your care team to see if a virtual video appointment is right for you.
Welcome back. We're here with Major Mayo, first name Lacey, from Army Public Health once again. And we're here again to reiterate a couple of things about measles.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, we are. Thank you for having me, Ms. Payen. So here today to talk about measles. So as we put out in the past, measles is here in El Paso. And so we just want to remind our community about things that they can do to prevent measles. So again, vaccination is the best way to prevent measles. So it's a 2-dose series and it's available to everyone who is assigned to William Beaumont that is 6 months and up. And then they get their first dose when they are 1 year old. And then again, they can get the next one at 28 days later because we are in an outbreak status. So that way your children can have the most protection, which is 97% effectiveness against the measles virus. And then if you are an adult beneficiary who does not have their measles vaccine, then you are also able to get that here at William Beaumont. And then again, if you are feeling sick or would like to get seen or screened because you think that maybe you have been exposed to measles, we ask that you contact your primary care manager to let them know. That way they can work out the best way for testing for you. And then if you are having any life-threatening symptoms that you're concerned about, then you can also go to the ER. But again, we request that you let them know before you go there. That way they can best prepare for your arrival for testing and to make sure that they are best able to help you out when you're there in their care.
Yes. So you had said earlier that this is for William Beaumont for all people, but it's mainly for those on Fort Bliss.
Yes.
And anyone who is a TRICARE beneficiary is who we're trying to reach out to, correct?
That's correct. Yes. So anyone who's enrolled in TRICARE that seeks care at William Beaumont, that's who we want to really push to get the vaccine as soon as possible if they haven't already.
Okay. So you have right now, you had to have some questions. Since we've made it public already, that measles is here. Do you want to go over a couple of those responses that you gave?
Yeah. So we've had people asking about how to get vaccinated. So if you want to get vaccinated for measles, so for you or for your child, you can reach out to your primary care provider to get scheduled for that. It's very easy. Make an appointment and then they'll get you seen as soon as possible. And we are also planning on having an MMR vaccination rodeo here at William Beaumont in one of our clinics. That information is forthcoming, but we want to make sure that we provide opportunities for our patients to go get vaccinated in a way that is easy for them to do, that works for their schedules with their families.
So one of the questions that I want to bring up is, what about measles in pregnancy? How does the vaccine work for that?
Right. So if someone is pregnant, they cannot receive the MMR vaccine. It's a live virus vaccine. And so that means that they are unable to get that vaccine while pregnant. However, after they give birth, they are able to get the vaccine pretty much immediately after birth. And that way, if they weren't already vaccinated or if they hadn't.
The baby or the mom?
The mom.
Okay.
The mom. Definitely the mom. The baby can't get their vaccine until they're 6 months old if we're still in an outbreak 6 months from now. But mom can get the vaccine pretty much immediately. So she can get her first dose or continue on with that series, which then again just helps to build up passive immunity from mom to baby while if baby is being breastfed. That way they're able to build up their own immunity until they're they're able to get a vaccine, which then gives them active immunity to be able to fight off that virus if they were ever to be exposed to it in the future.
So that would be in the case of if a mom is not vaccinated, right?
Right.
But if a mom is vaccinated since they were a kid, there's really not a worry.
Yeah, definitely not as much. If mom is already vaccinated, if she's already received both 1 and 2 vaccines, then she is able to pass on that immunity passively to baby while the baby is being breastfed. If they're being breastfed, that way they are able to still have that immunity until they are able to build up their own active immunity. It's a really great way to help keep baby safe until they are able to actually receive the vaccine for themselves.
That's great. Another question that I wanted to bring up is our older generation, because there is some questions that they have regarding their immunity status when they were kids. So what is titers and how does it apply to our older generation?
Okay, so the CDC recommends, obviously, that adults also have 2 doses of the MMR vaccine on board for immunity to measles. But as long as an adult has at least 1 dose of the MMR vaccine or written proof that they have been immunized or that they are already immune, then that's great for them. They don't need a booster. If someone is born before 1957, that is presumptive evidence of someone already being immune to measles. So if that's you, then you generally don't need another dose of the measles vaccine. And there is no catch-up program among adults for a second dose of MMR if they were born before 1989 or otherwise. Titers are a way to help. They're a blood test that can be used to confirm someone's immunity, but those just generally aren't needed. If you have evidence of being vaccinated or immunity otherwise, then you don't need a titer and you don't need to have another dose of the MMR vaccine unless you've only had 1, in which case you should get 2.
So to clarify, what if they had measles as a kid? That's still immunity. Should they consider the vaccine as now an older person?
So if someone had measles as a child, they would have likely already developed a lifelong immunity to the measles virus. So the need for an MMR vaccine specifically for measles, if you had measles, isn't necessary. However, if someone did not have the measles vaccine, but they had measles, but they also weren't protected against mumps or rubella, then they should go ahead and receive the MMR vaccine for protection against those 2 viruses.
So this is very good information to know. And we appreciate everybody that's been asking questions because we really don't know what's out there. And please keep continuing to ask us questions and we'll bring Major Mail back in here and put it all together and help provide the correct information. Any last things that you want to add, Major Mail, regarding the measles?
No, just we really want to make sure that everybody is getting vaccinated if they aren't already, that you are seeking care if you feel sick. And then keep in mind, too, that we are going to be planning that measles, the MMR vaccine rodeo in the near future. So just be ready for that. That way, if you want to take advantage of that you know when and where to go. And then if you have anything else, just let us know.
Okay, so thank you. We'll be back right after this commercial break.
Do you live in the West region? Do you have TRICARE Prime? You should know that the Defense Health Agency has extended the West region referral approval waiver through June 30th. Do you have questions or concerns? You can call TriWest at 888-874-9378. Or you can contact the Health Benefits Advisor at your military hospital or clinic.
We just spoke to Major Lacey Mail from Army Public Health Nurse, and she touched on a very important point, and that is the MMR vaccine is your best defense against measles, which is currently happening in our community right now. Right now, you can call your primary care clinic and do a walk-in to receive the vaccine for you and your family. You don't need to make an appointment. Just check with your clinic when the walk-in hours are and go get your vaccine. Another thing that Major Lacey Mail mentioned was the MMR Vaccine Rodeo. That's going to be May 16th, 17th, and May 19th through the 21st. So follow us on our social media platforms, which is right now Facebook and Instagram, and you can get the most latest information. That's it for us here on our podcast, and we'll catch you on the next one.